Hello, fifth grade. It's Mrs. Hopkins coming to you live from the kitchen table. Today, you guys are going to be starting a project that all the other grade levels are doing, but you guys kind of have the hardest version because you only get to use one color today, and I'm talking charcoal. You're going to do a self-portrait that's just black and white, and it still needs to look like you. Can't look like a Dalmatian or a zebra or any other black and white animal. It needs to look like you. I just finished up the fourth graders example and they are doing the same thing as you, except I made them do it in color. And they got to use chalk pastel. So if the tables are messy, blame it on the fourth graders. You guys need to make sure your tables look spick and span when you leave because you're fifth. You can handle it. So some of the stuff you're gonna need today that the fourth graders also used, you're gonna use a Q-tip for blending, and a tissue also for some blending, and of course some charcoal. You guys are probably only going to need a small piece. Now I was kind of kicking around the idea of letting you use a pencil and eraser to start with, and I'm okay with that. But I want you to understand that pencil is made out of graphite, and that's a different material that's what these guys are made out of, the charcoal sticks. So if you are trying to draw on top of the pencil and use the charcoal, it kind of doesn't want to draw on top. It's like you'll get blending with your charcoal and the pencil will still show up. So I am not going to use this guy today. If you do decide to use your pencil first, because you guys are really picky, I know how my fifth graders are, then I advise you to do it really light, because the thicker you do that pencil, the harder it's going to be to draw on top and make those darks really dark. Because today you want to focus on value, because I know you're going to do it realistic. It's going to really look like you and not some alien out there. I want to see the lights and the darks, and you'll be using a little eraser to bring out those lights. I just have like a pencil cap eraser that I found lying around the kitchen because Ollie takes everything out of our house. So I did manage to swipe this eraser. I'm going to use him and see how he works today. And I'm going to use a piece of charcoal that is about the size of my thumb. You could use a bigger piece or a smaller piece, does not matter. But you can already see it's on my fingers and it's going to get everywhere. So be patient, okay? So you guys are going to be using some mirrors too. You're not going to use my fancy mirror. Hello. You're going to use your own fancy mirrors. And I want you to look at your face and look at the shape of your face. Some of you might have more of a round face. Some of you might have more of an oval face like me. After drawing about 30,000 self-portraits today at home, I am pretty familiar with the shape of my face, which is very ovally. It is not a very round face, okay? Now, I'm just your art teacher. I'm not the artist extraordinaire, so I'm not gonna be perfect, and so I don't expect you guys to be perfect. I just want you to try out some of the techniques that we're gonna do today. Make sure you attach a neck. I'm gonna do a shirt line and shoulders. So I just basically have a human here, like Mr. Potato Head. Kind of looking like Mr. Potato Head right now, and I'm okay with that. Now my fifth graders should kind of remember proportions of your face. We've talked about it from the top of the head to the chin. If you go right in half, your eyes are going to be right about halfway down. Your nose should be smack dab in the middle, and depending on how long it is, you guys might have a nose that kind of ends up towards the middle. Mine comes down a little bit lower. So when I'm looking at my nose, it's a very triangular shaped nose. It kind of ends somewhere in here. And I'm just gonna make a couple lines so I know where my nose should be ending up. My lips are gonna go somewhere in there, and my chin's probably gonna have to come down. Anytime you make a mistake, okay, there's no erasing that with your finger. You'll have to try to use the eraser, and it's never ever completely perfect. So I'm not expecting you guys to be perfect. I promise. Nobody is perfect. Charcoal is not as forgiving as chalk pastel. That's why you're using it and the fourth graders aren't, because they probably can't handle it. And I'm trusting you. So my eyes are gonna be kind of like a lemon shape. And I'm not going to be picky about the shape of your eyes, the shape of your nose. I want to see you use value today. So I want to see how you can show me your skin tone with just a piece of charcoal. So I'm just kind of drawing the lines of my face where stuff is supposed to go. I'm not going to be super detailed. I just know that this is basically my shape. Okay, now right now I just look like a bald dude, which I think I look pretty good as a bald dude, but chances are you guys are not balded dudes, so you're gonna be including some hair. Now my hair today is down and waving. It is waving right in front of my face, mostly on this side, because there was no blow drying today. Okay, now my hair goes all the way down to my shoulders. And it kind of comes in the front here. And then it goes whichever way it wants. And I'm just drawing some lines to indicate hair. I'm not making it light or dark or any of that. And the same thing on this side, except I don't have as much because my part's not on this side. This side just comes down a little bit. Oh, now I'm starting to look less like a bald dude and more like a lady. So you guys are going to go ahead and start putting in like details like, all right, you can go ahead and put your lips in. I am a big fan of the closed mouth smile because I don't have to include teeth if I do that kind. Okay, and that is really nice for me because teeth can be a pain in the neck. There's my handy dandy little nose. You can put some indications of nostrils. If you want to use your Q-tip to help you blend that, this guy is going to be your best friend today. Now, before I get with my Q-tip, I'm just going to try to start blending in some skin color here. And I'm just going to go over top of the stuff I already drew without going in my eyeballs. So my fingers in this tissue. You guys should kind of be familiar with this technique. We've done this before with pastel blending. I'm just gonna go over all the skin, try to kind of go the same direction. And then I'll look back and see where it needs to be darker. Not going inside my eyes because I know those have to be light. I'm gonna include my neck, but I'm running out of chalk and I can see my neck is a little bit darker. So I'm gonna use the chalk on its side and I'll blend that. Okay, so now I've got some color on there. For me, I'm just gonna redraw those lines because they did get softened up a little bit. And I'm gonna go over them with my lovely Q-tip. And hopefully I'm not looking like I've got a 5 o'clock shadow, but I am looking like I've got a regular shadow underneath my chin. The same thing for my eyelids. I'm gonna just go over those guys one more time. And the tops of my eyes as well, because you do have eyelashes there. Boys, if you don't want to draw them as long, obviously, you don't have to. But I did put some mascara on, so I think mine are looking pretty fabulous today. I'm going to use the Q-tip to do my pupil. And since my eyes are brown, I'm only going to bring a little bit of color out there. Okay, so I'm getting myself starting to come together. Black and white Mrs. Hopkins. She looks like she belongs in a comic book. Now I need to pay attention to other shadows. So I know I have a shadow here where my nose comes together. And I'm just gonna go ahead and use my Q-tip because this is kind of where my eyebrows are. And I want them to actually look like hair. So I'll draw some hair pieces, kind of where that line was. And around the edges of my nostrils, it is a little bit darker. I have a bump on my chin here. Okay, and I'm gonna make sure my lips are a little bit more defined. So I'm gonna just kind of outline those guys a little bit more. I've got the details in my ears. So you've got some folds and stuff in there. And now I'm looking at my face, and I think that it's a little bit darker around the edges of my face, especially where my hair is. So you can use your finger to darken that up if you want. It's a little bit darker right in here, I'm noticing. When I look back in the mirror, and I'm just not kind of like making this up, I'm literally looking in the mirror to see where is it dark on my face? Where's the light hitting my face? So I noticed that there is light hitting my face, kind of like if I'm looking straight on the mirror, my cheeks are a little bit lighter in this area. So I can use my eraser and then I can just kind of blend that in so it's not quite as dark, okay? Your nose might have a highlight, or you might have one there. Okay, so pay attention to where the lightness is. Maybe I have one down by my chin. Okay, it's kind of like having the shine mark. If you want to put a shine mark in your eye, go ahead and do it. Might be really tricky if your eyes are really small. So now I'm going to go ahead and blend in some of that hair. I don't want to look gray. I want to look like I have lights and darks. I want to show that value. So if I don't add any more dark or any more light in this hair, it's gonna look super duper lame, okay? And I'm not gonna look cool like I wanna look. So one thing I might wanna do is redraw some of those lines. And I can get as detailed as I want to with this hair. It doesn't matter what color shirt you're wearing. I actually am wearing a black shirt today, which is kind of funny, but it's a good color to wear, so I'm not getting disgusting. But you decide how light you want your shirt to be. I'm gonna redraw those little wisps of hair that got lost down there. And I might go over some of these guys with my Q-tip. Now, if you have been with us at Hancock Creek for a couple years, you've done stuff with me like the dragon eye, so you should be pretty familiar with how the charcoal works, because we've done this before with the charcoal and with pencil. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab my handy dandy eraser and go in here and just kind of pull some brightness. Your erasers are gonna get a little dirty. You might already have a stack of dirty erasers saved from this project. If you need to have this area lightened up, not by your neck, like I kind of got it a little too dark in certain spots, so I'm gonna kind of fix that. And now I've got myself looking more like me. I'm gonna kind of fix my shirt line here. Okay. Maybe you've got some wrinkles in your shirt, depending on how much shirt is showing. I'm also wearing my glasses today, so hopefully this looks a little bit more like me once I put these babies on. That's my last step, is my glasses, boys and girls. Because I'm not going to be blending around them because I wouldn't want to mess up my lines. Now, if you are wearing glasses and you don't feel like drawing them, I am not going to force you to do those things. I'm just going to go over them one time to soften them up. And there's Mrs. Hopkins, hopefully looking a little bit like Miss Hopkins. Kind of picking out the parts that are still a little bit in shadow. It's a little bit darker under my glasses, So I'm gonna smudge that in. And pretty much, besides a couple freckles, that is my self-portrait of my messy hair today. Make sure that you guys sign it, okay? Put your name on it somewhere. On the back of your paper, y'all are in 5th grade. So a name again, please, 5- whatever letter. Okay, if you're in Miss Peterson's class, I better see a P. Okay, if you are in a different class, please put a different letter. Don't just put 5-P if you're in 5th grade, because that wouldn't make sense. I know you guys can do this. Try to get your fingerprints off of the white space in the background. If you can't, then grab an eraser if you need to get a cleaner one. Just let your teacher know. I know you guys can do this. This will take a couple classes. And remember, mine is not perfect. Yours does not have to be perfect either. There's a million things I could do to make this one even better. And I can't wait to see you guys when I get back. Bye.